Hello everyone, I'm going to make my little daily version of this educational video with the problems explained regarding society and why stuff are not functioning properly. And so we have Earth here, and then there is this concept which I like to talk about called universal law. Universal law for planetary right to a basic human income. Which is the solution for all the problems in our world right now, because the reality of the situation regarding the world and why stuff are not functioning is very simple. It all boils down to one little thing, and it's this thing here. It's the fact that we have two populations. We have a population who is part of a nation, and a society, and they have passports. And then we have a population that is part of only the land and the ground of nations and regions, like this region and that region and that region. Most of these people, all of them have passports, just like these people. But these people, they don't get to be part of society, of this little thing here. This little thing. They have to sit outside of society and beg, or do stuff like this. They can collect cans, pick apples, beg, or do criminality in order to get money for food. Meanwhile, these people, they don't need to do any of those things. They earn an income in one of three categories: low, medium, high income categories, which are represented in this thing called society, which the politicians talk about and so on here on Earth. And so the difference, easily explained, between the two categories of people, populations, is that the land and the ground people, they have to earn their income in one of these categories: begging, criminality, pick apples, or collect cans. And the people of the nation and society, they earn incomes in one of these things here. They build society. And the reason, because society can continue to be constructed and develop on the globe here, is because of laws. Laws protect the construction of society upon Earth. Without laws, it wouldn't exist. And so it is kind of inconvenient and incongruent when the law is protecting the construction of society, but the law is also being broken in current situation regarding society, because that is the fact. Universal law, but also the normal law of any society, is that people who have been given passports for a region, let's say whatever region of these, we don't need to name any of them, just that they got the passport. And that passport was supposed to come with rights, the right to social security, the right to be able to earn an income in the low income category here through social welfare and security. That right is being taken away from people, and basically that's what is happening, is then that the passports of these people have been inactivated, and so their passports have been taken away from their not the passports, but their citizenships have been taken away from them, because the rights that come with the passports, they don't work for these people. They don't get their rights. That's the problem here on the globe, is that there's a large sum of population who are not getting their rights met. And that's the right to be represented in this low income category, and the right to have social welfare and a basic human income. So what I was talking about laws and the illegality is that this growing population here of people, or this population of people who have to sit like that, their citizenship has essentially been taken away from them. Even though they have a passport, the right with that passport are not being honored. And so that's the illegality that I was talking about according to laws, because laws are what are protecting the construction of society on the earth here. But the law is also being broken because we have people sitting here whose citizenships have been illegally revoked. And if you are born on this piece of region here, they cannot revoke your citizenship. It's not possible. But that is what is happening when they are denying people the right to a basic human income, or making them work for the right of a basic human income, and then losing their right for a basic human income when they can't fulfill the requirements for getting their rights. Which, I mean, from the beginning they shouldn't have to work for their rights. The right should just be there. So where were we? Yes, ownership, for example. That's another illegality if we talk about laws, is that the nations here, the different nations, they own the ownership of these people here. They own the ownership of social security of these people. That's what they owe these people, social security in regards to society. But what has happened is that these people, since their citizenship was illegally revoked, the governments did it through just foolery and let's say pretended ignorance, through having incompetent social welfare offices illegally revoke citizens of their citizenship by denying them the right to be represented in the low income category through social welfare. I mean, in other words, a basic human income. So what the government is doing then, when they are allowing that to happen, is that they are denying their responsibility for ownership of the social security over some individuals. This is based on discrimination, because it's just some individuals who are losing that right. And so that's a problem, because when people talk about criminality and how do we solve criminality and so on and so on and so on, the thing is that this is the problem regarding that, because the government and the state and society, when they do that, when they just revoke the ownership or responsibility of social security, what they are saying basically is that we don't want these people here, we don't care about them, they don't belong to us. They are still here, they were born here, we gave them a passport. The passport was just a symbolic thing, but we don't really own the ownership of their social security. So what happens then is that then the criminal networks can start to bloom here on this region, and the criminal networks, they take over the ownership of responsibility of social security over these individuals, because the state basically gave it away to them, which is illegal. They cannot do that, especially not based on discriminatory grounds like they are doing. That's basically how it is. Just some citizens they're not intelligent enough, they will have to, we don't want that. So that's very bad in discrimination if you look to history. So that's very illegal, and that's also the thing. The law makes this possible for society to be constructed. The law is also habitually being broken and not honored from states and governments. And so basically then, when these people try to go to the social welfare office and get their rights met and get them denied, what the governments are saying then is that they should this is the social welfare office over here. So when they go here to this place, what they are saying basically is go back to your owners. It's not us. Go back to the criminal networks who own you, because we do not have ownership of responsibility of your social security. That's the criminal networks. You have to go to them, people, because we don't own that. But they do own that. That's the thing. The governments do own the ownership of responsibility of social security towards these individuals, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. It's because if you are of any of these two categories here, either land and ground person or national society person, and you're born here in this region or that region, whatever region, doesn't matter, they will want you to have a passport. If you have a kid in any of these regions, they will try to say that your kid should have a passport, have a citizenship, because they don't want a growing population who don't have citizenships. That's they even mandate it by law. Okay, and so that's the thing. So if they are to mandate people by law to give their kids citizenships because they want control over those kids, the governments, then they have to honor this on ownership of responsibility of social security towards all individuals of society. They cannot discriminate. Some people, oh yeah, they're not too smart or something, we don't give them that. Because that's the state's view, but that's not the real view. That's just the state's view. That's not reality. Like that's this discrimination, and it's stupid discrimination. So that's the thing. This needs to be honored. Otherwise, people having kids here can just basically at the moment say I don't care, I don't want my kids to have a citizenship here. And so then a growing population here can grow of people who are just part of the land and the ground, and they are basically already part of only the land and the ground, because they are not having their rights honored. So they are already that, but they can. But there could be a growing population of actual this, and a growing population of actual this who, by logic, don't need to follow the laws anymore of this region, because they were born on this region, but they had their citizenship revoked, and they can basically not disappear from this region, right? So they don't have to follow the laws because they're not part of the nation anymore. And if they're not part of the nation and the society, and they have no income in the nation and the society and so on, then following the laws of that nation and that society is no longer there is no mandation for that, for that group of people. So if we continue on, it's not good that the governments deny people their right to a basic human income, because basically what they are doing is that they're pushing the people back into criminal networks, and then society and politics and television talks about criminality and how can it be, and it's cultural differences and so on. But it's they're just really discussing the consequences of all of the problems that come from this problem here, namely that there are two populations on one piece of earth: those who get to be part of society and those who don't get to be part of society because of discriminatory because of discrimination, basically. And so just by uttering the word discrimination now regarding society, governments, and social welfare offices, it should be clear and clear and just obvious that they need to start honoring once again the rights of the citizenships, namely social security, basic human income in the social welfare offices, and then this population here of people will gradually start to disappear, and the people will no longer only be part of the land and the ground, and they will start becoming part of society. Why are they part of the land and the ground? Well, because they pick apples or beg or collect cans or criminality in order to eat food, and they don't have any income in this low category, so they are not represented in the version of society that politicians talk about. That's why they are only part of the land and the ground. If a person does any of these things and they think, well, I am part of society, you don't get to say that I'm not. That's not the point. You can be that, and that's good. But this is a problem, and so I have to speak about this problem. Because me personally, at least, I want to be represented in one of these income categories here. That's basically one of my motivations behind this. But there is also another motivation regarding Earth and what is right regarding Earth. And what is right is that everyone should have their right met to a basic human income, because that's the only way that society can be constructed here, if people get their right to enter society and get the basic human income. Because the idea at the moment is that everybody has the right to enter society, but that they just sit here because it's more fun, and that's not true. So this whole little thing here explains that pretty well. And so that's that. Basically, there are some other things here that we can discuss, and it's the fact that what is happening is that the reason why there is so much unemployment and so on is because people are stuck trying to get their right to a basic human income, social welfare. So they are working for that rather than working in jobs and working towards getting a job. So people are sitting here and trying to get into this when they should be already sitting here and trying to get into this. So they should already get this right met without having to work for it, and then they could work to get in here. That's what should be happening. And but since it's not like that, and it's like this, that people work to try to get their right for social welfare and basic human income met by applying for that. They have to go and print out papers and do things that take up energy. Then what happens is that it creates a bottle effect here. That's the bottle effect, which means that here are all the unemployed people, and then they try to get into this category. Oh, exactly. No, but actually that category. But due to this little bottleneck thing here, it's really slow, because they are on purpose denying people. They're asking questions, and then they go, no, you don't get your right. You don't get your right. And so that bottlenecks the whole society in having people get jobs and becoming autonomous beings in society. And that's the purpose of it, because they are afraid of letting people become autonomous citizens, having their autonomy and their rights met. And so this is not so good, this bottlenecking thing. So that was what I was explaining before, that rather than people trying to get in here and running around here collecting cans while also working towards getting into this category, they should get this category immediately. Then we take the bottle and we throw it away. And then they can just work towards getting a job, and that shouldn't really be that hard either. But now gradually that needs to change too. And so that's that. And then there is the other idea here, which I just make this for fun, regarding the bus. If we take the bus as an example, we are going to ride the bus, and then we go to the bus, and we have our little bus card, and person one, they go to the bus, and here is the bus thing. They blip their card here, blip, shines green, and they go on the bus. And then another person goes and blip, shines green, and they go. And then another person comes and they try to blip it, and it shines red here on this one. And that's because some reason this stopped working, this bus card. And so the bus card the bus drivers say go to the bus company over here, and they will help you. If it's true that you say that you bought this bus card yesterday and it's a monthly bus card that should work all month, then just go here and they will fix it. And you go there and you show this to them and they take it, throw it in the bin because it's broken, and they give you a new one and they activate it, and now it's a bus card, and when you blip it here, shines green, and you can ride the bus like everyone else. But and so that's how easy it should be to fix these people's issues over here. The government should just tell the people in the social welfare offices to stop discriminating upon these people and stop making them work for their rights, namely their rights to social security, which is an ownership of responsibility for the governments, which they are currently unlawfully discriminating upon through ignorant pretended ignorance. In Spain, they call it hacerse el sueco, which means do the Swedish, make yourself Swedish, which is basically pretended ignorance. That's what the governments are doing right now. But throughout the world, they're just pretending ignorance to not understand what is happening. But the fact is that it costs governments more money to have this problem here than if people would just be working parts of society. But that's not really what they all seem to want to do, because I don't know, but it costs more money to have people sit like this and then have criminality and sad things happen due to that, and so on and so on and so on. So basically, yeah. So if we go back to the bus thing, the bus here, that's what they should do also with the passport things. When the passports don't work here in the social security place because of discrimination, and someone inactivated the passport of this individual and of this individual and of this individual here, all their passport got inactivated. So when they go to the social welfare office, they have to make little dances before they can get their social security rights met, and then they don't get it, and that's why they're sitting over here. Then the politicians and the governments should just tell the social welfare offices to stop incompetently and illegally discriminating upon the citizens, because it's creating a lot of problems. But that's not what is happening, because it's convenient, I guess, for them to have citizenships be inactivated through the incompetence of social welfare offices, because that's like the little wall into society here that keeps the barbarians out. But they're not we are not barbarians, and people are capable of working. It's just discrimination. It's illegal discrimination, and it's discrimination that has been happening historically over and over again, and that we have been taught is really bad, but yet continue to just pretend we don't understand it still exists. So that's that. The problem of current times is the fact that there are two populations on one piece of earth: those who are discriminated upon illegally, so, and those who are not, and who get to there are different types of, everybody has problems, so that's not what I'm going to say, but this is still a problem, that there are two populations, and that needs to be solved. So that's that, and I try to make a video today too, because I'm right now working on getting myself into the society thing over here, and so meanwhile I'm just making videos like this and trying to improve them a little bit, because this is the best I can do right now. So that's that, and I hope you have a good week and a good weekend and everything. And I hope that maybe this was interesting, an interesting viewpoint. And I hope that you're okay. Fine. Goodbye.